Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video I'm going to review the movie I said I would review after Warm Bodies, and that movie is Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. Now, when I first heard about the plot for this movie, I was definitely really looking forward to it. And the reason I was really looking forward to it was because I just thought the premise sounded really good. After seeing Snowy and the Huntsman, I didn't really want to see it. And the reason is because I didn't like Snowy and the Huntsman. I just didn't. I didn't think it was a very good movie. But then I saw a trailer to this, and this looks so much better than Snowy and the Huntsman. And so I didn't really know what to think of it after that, but then it got bad reviews, and I'm thinking, why is it getting such bad reviews? It looks awesome. And I was hearing like all this terrible stuff about it. But I'm happy to say that the movie was awesome. I thought it was awesome. The reason I thought it was, sorry, I had to close the door because it's very dark in here. Let me turn on a light, actually. It's very dark. I don't know why it gets so dark in here. But the reason I thought this movie was so good was because it just was really, really awesome. And I don't know what everybody's problem with it was. I thought it was great. And the basic plot of here is that this is after, it starts off with Hansel and Gretel, you know, the classic story, but then we see that they have become professional witch hunters. They hunt witches, they kill the witches, but one day there's this other witch. There are these three witches who basically want to have this thing called the blue moon. And this blue moon, pretty much with the blue moon, what happens with this blue moon is they take, well, I'll tell you in the spoilers, but it's pretty interesting that they want to have this blue moon where they take a kid from every day of every month who was born on that day to get blood from them, and it's very hard for Hansel and Gretel to defeat them. But they're like celebrities pretty much, and that's one of the things I really loved, is that this movie does not take itself too seriously. When it's time to be serious, it's time to be serious, but most of the movie, it is very funny. And there are a lot of parts that's very funny and very silly. And one of the things that's great is that, as I said, Hansel and Gretel are like celebrities to these people. They have this one guy, Ben, who's absolutely hilarious. He's like their biggest fan, and he's just very, very funny. I thought he was really, really great. The guy who played Ben was very great. And, so yeah, that was really great. And now I want to get into the acting. Now, the biggest one, I think, the standout here is Jeremy Renner as Hansel. He is absolutely hilarious in this movie. This was probably his best movie yet. Now, I think they pushed this movie back, because this was originally supposed to come out in like 2010, I believe. But now it's 2013, so, I mean, now it's coming out. It finally came out. So, they finally pushed it, and it was pushed back, and I thought he was just really great. From the first line he had, where he said, if you want to kill a witch, set her ass on fire. That was really funny. From that line, I knew he was going to be hilarious, and he is. Hansel is really, they made Hansel like a douchebag almost. Not really a douchebag, but like he doesn't really care. He's very like, he's not very humble at all. He's very much, like loving the fame. He's into ladies. He flirts with women. And then Gemma Arterton, though, as Gretel, is the exact opposite. She's very serious about her job, but she has some great lines as well. And I thought the two of them were great. I love that they have little brother and sister thing, especially the part where Hansel and Gretel get separated and they don't know where they are, where the other one is. And then eventually they find each other. That scene was really, really good. Honestly, that was a really great scene. Famke Janssen as Muriel was a great villain. Honestly, she was a really good villain. She was really great. I found her to be just a really, really great villain. And I just thought she was really, really good. She definitely was, it was great. So now I'm going to get into some spoilers for this movie. So if you haven't seen the movie, I'd recommend you don't. Just so you know, though, I watched the unrated cut. So maybe some of the spoilers I'm about to say did not happen in the movie. I watched the unrated cut, which totally, totally worth it. If you want a good version of this movie, watch the unrated cut, because it is so good. The unrated cut, I didn't see the original cut, I saw the unrated cut, and it's totally worth it. Honestly, it's really great. So the biggest thing I want to talk about is, of course, what happened to Hansel and Gretel's parents. How their mother was a white witch, and how pretty much how their mother was a white witch, and how their father needed to abandon them. And we really didn't know the story, and I thought it was really cool how they made up the story, especially the part with how their father was hanged in front of their mother's remains, bare flesh. And I thought that was really amazing. We finally found out what happened to their parents, and I thought that was great that they finally did that. We finally found out what happened to Hansel and Gretel's parents, and I thought that was really, really, really great how we found that out. And I also thought it was interesting how Minna is also a white witch, and how in the beginning of the movie they try to execute Minna because they think she's a witch, and it turns out she's not a bad witch, she's a white witch, which is a good witch. Kind of like the Wizard of Oz. You have the good witch of the north, who's the good witch, and the good witch of the south, who's a good witch, and they're both white witches. Yeah, that's pretty much what this movie is like. So yeah, that was really cool. I also thought some of the effects were really amazing. That was really good. And also Edward the troll, I loved his storyline, how he really doesn't want to be a bad person, and Gretel figures that out. And so she kind of becomes friends with the troll and tries to turn him back into a human, but there's no luck. He stays as a troll. But Edward the troll was really, really good. Honestly, he was a really great character. And I really felt for his character. I felt like he added a lot of emotion to the movie, I think. Because the rest of the movie, as I said, is very silly. And even the director said, if the blood and the gore here is all silly. The director said, if this was not a silly movie, the blood and gore would be horrifying. Because, I mean, there's tons of blood and gore. There's a scene where this guy, blows out his whole, he throws up his whole self. His arms are gone, his legs are gone, his head is gone. There's this one scene where a guy is, crushed with his hand. This is one of the goriest movies I think I've ever seen. Honestly, it is very gory. It's gorier than slasher movies I've seen. And that says something. But I didn't care because the blood and gore was awesome in this. They did a very good job with that. And they did a very good job with trying to have the Hansel and Gretel story in here. And you know what I think the problem with this movie was that it was released at the wrong time. This movie to me feels like a summer blockbuster. It really just says popcorn movie, summer blockbuster. Have a few friends over, enjoy the movie, you'll have a great time. It's a lot of fun, honestly. It really is a lot of fun. I don't know what everyone's problem with it was. I just found it to be a lot of fun. It was so much better than Snowy and the Huntsman. See, the problem with Snowy and the Huntsman was it took itself way too seriously, and this thing didn't take itself too seriously. This was a lot better than that. I just found it to be a lot better. And Snowy and the Huntsman should have been rated R. This was rated R, and it had to be rated R. If it wasn't rated R, it probably would not be as good, because they couldn't have as many blood and gore scenes. And there are just some really great things. They have a little romance in there with Minna and Hansel, and I just thought it was such a great movie. And then the other thing I want to talk about are the effects. The effects are also really, really good. I thought, some of the effects, yeah, you can tell it's all CGI, but what were you expecting? Were you expecting practical effects? I wasn't expecting practical effects. I thought the CGI was actually really good, especially on the witches. I mean, they did a very good job making the witches extremely scary. The main one, Muriel, the first scene you see her in, when she turns into a witch, she has claws, she has, disgusting teeth, and, I mean, that scene was great. That was a great scene, I think. And I really loved that scene. I thought that they did a really great job of making the witches look hideous. And I like how there was a redhead witch, there was a blackhead witch, and then there was Muriel. And the rest of them didn't have names. And I thought that was kind of cool how that all worked. And as I said again, Jeremy Renner really is the standout. He is absolutely hilarious. I've loved his, and I also heard this is the first in a trilogy. There's gonna be another movie. So luckily, if you didn't like this, there's gonna be another movie. I think half of the people don't realize this is only the first one. There's gonna be another one. Whether you like it or not, there's gonna be another one. And I highly recommend you watch this movie. It is very, very funny. It's funny. It's fun. It's just very fun. As I said, it's a very popcorn movie. Have a few people over. You'll have a great time watching it. Let me know what you thought of the movie. What do you think of the whole thing with Hansel and Gretel's past? I thought that was done very, very well. I like. What do you think of it not being taken too seriously? Who was your favorite? My favorite, as I said, was Jeremy Renner. I thought he was really great. Jeremy Renner, I said, was great too. I mean, I love the brother and sister dynamic. What do you think of the blood, the gore? I thought the blood and gore was awesome. What do you think of the creatures? Did you think they looked good? The movie, I just thought the movie was really, really awesome, and I just really, really recommend it. And let me know, so that's it for my review of Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next video. I have 2 other movies to watch. I'm going to watch them sometime today. Identity Thief and Oz the Great and Powerful. I'll be watching both of those, so I will review both of those for you later, so see you then. Bye!